Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeremy Rubin. I'm joined in the booth tonight with Luis Almaso, who's joining me internationally from Chile. Uh, we're,
Yes,
we're,
sir.
we're looking at Bristol.
Yeah, tonight's going to be one of those crazy races, Jeremy. You'll never. The Last Colosseum, one of the most dangerous, treacherous side by side races of the entire calendar. So the thing's going to be wild tonight.
Yeah, it sure is, and you can always bet on Bristol not only being a great race, but putting on a great show. Whether we're going to see a lot of cautions tonight, that's kind of unavoidable, but yeah, it's Bristol, baby. But I think these guys will be able to handle it tonight. I think we'll see a pretty good race.
Well, they sure did put a lot of laps during practice. ECR following their mandatory rules for drivers putting laps in practice before the session, before qualifying and race begin. So everybody's supposed to put in a certain number of laps. So they are aware of the track conditions. They know what to expect. They know how tight the whole thing is going to be. And this is not just a simple race. This is our first ECR Dash for Cash race that we're following the normal calendar, just like NASCAR did. You guys are going to be seeing that tonight here at ECR. So stay tuned. We're going to try to explain the rules as we go along as the race start. We're going to have a couple sections, a couple mandatory flags being thrown by race control to set up the field, get the names in, and we'll know who's going to be running for extra money at the end of the race. So this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. Let's quickly we'll go over a brief outline of it. So we're going to start with two heats. Unlike the real NASCAR Dash for Cash, everyone's going to be in the same. Everyone's going to be in both heats. We're going to take the top two finishers from the first one and the different next two top finishers. If it's the same guys, it'll be the next two below them. They're going to go for the Dash for Cash in a 120 lap, I do believe. Yeah, finale. That's going to be the main event tonight.
Exactly. First, we're going to have from lap 1 to lap 40. Then we're going to have 10 laps of mandatory yellow flags. So race control is going to freeze the field. It's going to give a couple laps back to drivers that may fall outside of the lead lap, up to a number of 5 laps back. So if you fall more than 5 laps, you're going to start the second section a lap behind no matter what. After that, the next two guys, if the same two finish 1 and 2 again, we're going to go down to 3 and 4, and we're going to get down to 4 drivers. Those 4 guys, the last 120 laps, whoever gets in front wins the Dash for Cash.
And we're going to do our best tonight to keep y'all updated throughout the night on where those guys are running so we can make sure that we all know who's in the top position for that. In ECR, it's 200,000 ECR funds, which we use in the league as being able to buy teams, race your own team. It's just kind of a fun way to play with fake money, pretty much.
Exactly. It's our fantasy funds.
There we
So
go,
everybody
fantasy
out
fun.
there playing fantasy, whatever, golf, baseball, whatever they have right now, you guys will get a pretty good grasp of what the ECR funds are. And this is thing that people play around, give contracts, make bets. It's a
Hmm.
fun thing to give it on the side, just like they have it in real life. We have it here in the virtual sense.
Yeah, and it's the first kind of system that I've seen like it, and it works out really well. So looking for our first Dash for Cash race of the season to go off with, hopefully without too many hitches tonight. But Bristol's Bristol, we all know it.
Yeah, I think
So
the system's pretty easy. I think the race itself being in Bristol, that's where the monkey wrench is gonna come
yes,
from. Just because the race itself is never easy. It's always very complex. And we're gonna see guys falling out of contention just because race things are gonna happen.
yeah, and race things being contact. Nobody's car is gonna look clean at the end of the night. I can guarantee you. After doing a little bit of practice in the room, the car, it's a little tight to begin, and then it gets loose as the run goes on. So when you're around traffic, you're gonna have to be real careful. And we were also seeing any kind of contact was sending guys around, and yeah.
Yeah, we apparently iRacing did a little bit of a change to the way that they detect that a car is close to you, especially in the short tracks, and we can tell pretty much those changes when we had the races at Martinsville, both the Cup and the truck races. They try to get the sense of distance a lot closer to real life and the effects of what a small little bump in a track like this is going to cause. So if you barely touch someone with this amount of banking, with this amount of acceleration and braking being done, you're going to go around. There's no way of denying that. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, especially if we do get long runs. I'm very curious to see the tire wear in this concrete surface, how everything's going to play out.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting with the tire wear. Kind of, it's a factor here, but you don't see a whole lot of fall off. So it's just going to be interesting. Pitch strategy, I think, is going to be pretty big tonight. Because tires mean something, but they don't mean as much as a place like Texas or even next week when we go to Richmond.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, real quick, we got a couple minutes before we get grid up. Last week we were at Texas Motor Speedway, and we saw. Oh God. Well, let's take a. He was able to come away with the victory. You see him coming out of turn 4 here, taking the checkered flag over Stephen Massey. So that was a great race at the end of that one. Had a long green flag run. It opened up, but Stephen Massey was running him down. I think he needed about 4 more laps, and he might have. Congrats to Ronnie Norman on that win.
Who's not here, by the way, tonight, Jeremy?
Ooh,
So
wow.
that opens up the door for a potential new winner at the Xfinity Series this year.
We'll have to see if regulars or if it's one of the. Sorry, I'm having audio problems for some reason. But see if it's one of our regulars or see if it's a new winner tonight. Ooh. Qualifying always kills me. So much time in between qualifying and the race. And everyone's qualified, but we gotta sit here for a little while.
Yeah, we have a couple of guys running a couple extra laps just to get as much practice as they can.
Yeah, right.
I just don't know who they are.
And if anybody sees any kind of problems, please let me know. Everyone was having some kind of connection issues with this room earlier on, so if you see anything, and you guys didn't hear anything I said there either, but if you guys see any connection problems tonight, let me know in the chat. We were having a bunch of connection issues before with everybody in the room, so if something happens, let me know in the chat. I'll see what I can do to fix it, and we'll get you a good race going here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to try to open my chat room here as we speak, Jeremy. Let me just go get that thing done.
10-4. What's up, Waffles? Victor. Witherspoon. Justin Bland. Josh Sheets. Thomas Lattimore. Are you racing tonight? I think you're racing tonight. I saw you in here. What else we got? Scotty B. Yep. Should be a short little ways away from checker flag and qualifying, so they're gonna be gridding up here momentarily.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
By the way, Justin Bland. God, I hate that about iRacing. Justin Bland, your pole sitter. I couldn't quite get to what the rest of the starting grid was, but I know Justin Bland, your pole sitter. He's on the inside in that 65 Lumitech.
I got it here.
You got it, yeah. Cause
yes, sir.
So I don't like to pull that kind of stuff up when we got that.
No worry. We have, so here we go. Let's go through the top 10 really quickly. Justin Bland, 65, our pole setter. He swept Martinsville, so short track seems to be his bread and butter this season. So he's starting up on the pole with the number 40 of Nathan Miller starting on the outside. Joshua Susi on the 81 starting third. Jay Adair starting fourth in the 43 machine. Douglas Haas in the 31 machine starting fifth. Mark Bratcher, a newcomer for the Xfinity Series, a regular in the Cup Series, starting sixth in his first race this season. Nick Olson starting seventh in the 53, followed by Joshua Witherspoon, another Cup regular, starting in eighth place in the number 79. Brian Wilderson, two-time winner this year, already in the number 13. He starts ninth. And Tony DeGennaro in the number 22. He starts in the number 10 spot. So that's our top 10 qualifiers for tonight's race. As of right now, if my math checks out, we have 40 drivers in tonight's race. So full field, completely full attendance tonight. We have guys that wanted to race, but because of rules and regulation, we can only fit 40 drivers. So packed house.
Yeah, again, not for some reason I'm not loading every car on track at the same time, so this is trying to figure out what's up. It'll load the front guys and it won't load the back guys, and ay. Gotta love iRacing. They made some kind of update, and
yeah, I'm having the same problem here,
okay,
Jeremy.
yeah.
So it's not only you for
no,
some reason.
it was happening to everybody in the just in the room. Everyone was having kind of not being able to see everybody. Everyone was bouncing around. Some kind of server issue right now.
And hopefully, we're going to be able to show the important stuff that is happening during the race. We're not going to have a problem.
We will try our best. And
yes,
if anything does happen, if anything does happen to it, make sure you guys head over to the ARAN Twitter page. If something happens to the server where it's just too crappy a quality, I will hop on Twitter. I'll tweet updates throughout the entire race. Because right now I'm only showing 10 guys on the track when we know there's like 40. So something's going up with the server tonight.
Well, Jeremy, they're coming out at turn number 3 and 4. We're about to go green.
Yes, sir. Pace car's going to duck in right here. Justin Bland, your lead car. He took the inside line, and he's gone. Wow, look at Justin Bland. He has pulled ahead. Am I already seeing right front damage on his car? No. Okay, it's gone. Yeah. Guys, do apologize about tonight. There's something wrong with the server. Everything's blinking out. Everything on my end is fine as far as like ping and stuff goes, but something else is wrong.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of battles mid-pack, right behind Justin. I don't know what the mechanics on that 65 machine did, but that car is gone. It's flying out in front. One thing that is surprising me, Jeremy, and I don't want to jinx the field, so if something happens while I'm talking, I'm sorry, guys, but I expected a much closer start from our drivers. From 7 laps in, I thought we were going to see our first caution already. So awesome job by everybody keeping it clean,
Oh,
giving
and
each other a
yep,
lot
as you
of
say
room.
that, Stephen Massey's around. Yep, into the wall. Major. Yeah, the caution finally
Oh, here we
came
go.
out.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Caution's out. Caution's out.
yeah, it was Stephen Massey. I think he's pretty much done. It's gonna.
John Schweiker is also smoking the #1 machine.
Yeah, I couldn't quite. Let's see if we can go back. If it'll even work. Alright, let's see if we can see what happens. Stephen Massey. He's right on the bumper of the 93 of Donald James, I think. Oh, 56 gets into the wall, and that was major lag right there. Yeah. See, that's the kind of problems we're gonna have, I think, throughout tonight.
Yeah, I cannot go back and see.
Yeah,
I cannot see the replay from
you can't even watch it.
on my end. Yeah, on my end, iRacing is not letting us watch what happened.
iRacing, you've done it again.
Yeah, we apologize for that, guys. We're gonna try to show everything that is happening live, but
As much as possible, but
yeah, sometimes we're not gonna be able to catch what happened. But yeah, you could tell that on that one what happened. The 56 car of George Munger just lost it going into the turn. Went way up high. When he came back, everybody running behind just had nowhere to go, and Steven and John Schweiker were just caught in a bad position, in a bad situation. And Justin Bland bringing the field for pits. Our first strategy move of the race there, Jeremy.
yeah, and with 10 laps on their tires, I wonder what he's gonna do. He's taking all 4, so
And a lot of guys that
he's
were
out.
up front in the top 10, they stayed out, starting with Joshua Sousa in the 81, Nick Olson the 53, Brian Wilderson in the 13, Tony DeGeneres in the 22. They all stayed out, so a lot of cars between Justin and the front of the field.
Yeah, so I can't really even trust my stats tonight, but I'm showing Justin back in 12th. I can't.
Yeah, it will
I don't.
take a little bit just for the stats to
Yeah,
refresh when they cross the start and finish line. Right now, Joshua Sousa is our leader. Nick Olson second, Brian Wilderson third, Tony DeGeneres fourth, Matthew George in fifth, Tony James sixth, Pat Richey seventh, Caleb Sheets eighth, Scott Hunsinger ninth, and Will Prue rounding up the top 10 as of right now.
Oh, Will Prue made it. He said he wasn't gonna be
He
able to make
w-
it.
he was the last guy to
No.
pop into the room right before the race starts. So
Pace car's off again, and the 81's your control car, and he's gone. So we're going to lap 40 for this first heat here. I don't have the Xfinity regulars list in front of me, but I believe the 81 of Josh Sousa is an Xfinity regular, so he would transfer into the next, or into
yes,
the.
he is our 1 and 2 right now. Joshua Sousa and Nick Olson, they are Xfinity regulars. So if the first heat finishes right now the way it is, they will be the first to qualify to race for the Dash for Cash in the main event.
Got a slow car on the front stretch. I can't
That
even tell you who it
was
is. Ken
Josh
Ron?
Witherspoon
Josh
in the
Witherspoon.
79.
Yeah.
It's funny looking at our first two cars. You can see a little bit of a difference between the lines they're running. You can see Josh in the 81 car going a lot higher on the banking in the middle of the turns, getting very close to the outside wall, while Nick Olson on the 53 keeping the car a little bit safer, in a safer position, not too close. He's going to be wearing a little bit more of those left side tires and the front tires overall, just to make the car stick. But as of right now, they're running the exact same times, pulling away from the field.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Running that lower line, it is going to wear those tires a lot faster than that higher line where you can just kind of take it easy. You can almost dime in the corner. When you come off the wall in the middle of the corner, you can make it head towards the bottom, get that straight shot off. But way Nick Olson's riding it, he's going middle of the track, and he's having to turn that wheel a lot more, the entire corner, than the 81 of Josh Schusse is just on exit.
And not only the keeping the car during the turn, he's cutting it to the bottom on exit. So he's getting a much sharper angle on the exit of the turn. It's faster because he's basically driving the shorter way around the track, but he's definitely putting a lot more pressure on those tires.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working, Jeremy, because they are pulling away. They're already 2 seconds ahead of Tony DeGennaro in the 22.
Yellow's out. What's the yellow out for? I can't even tell you. Two of Andrew Ackerman. Let's take a look back and see what happened to our friend Andrew. Yeah, and Waffles, you're the same as everybody else in the on track. It's something's going on with the servers tonight with iRacing. Everyone's having problems seeing them. Well, apparently even iRacing's having problems seeing him. He just pops up sideways on the front stretch. This is good. Yeah, again, guys, apologize about tonight. iRacing's decided to give us the big green weenie again, so I thought that only happened in the Army, but apparently iRacing has figured out how to do it pretty well too.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong, and like Jeremy said, we apologize to everybody. I don't see anything wrong with his car. It doesn't seem to be that much
I just saw
damage.
a little bit of like left rear, I think, had a little bit of damage, but other than that, nothing too big.
I think he just lost control. Maybe it hit the wall a little bit, gave it a little tap, but he seems to be running around. There's no smoke coming out of his car, so if there's damage, shouldn't prevent him from continuing the race.
Yeah. So when we restart, we should have somewhere around see probably about 10 laps to go when we get for the first heat, and then we'll have a 10-lap caution break to get people back on the lead lap who are laps down and work on.
Yeah, we're starting lap 28 right now, so a couple more laps for iRacing to sort everything out. We should have 10 or 9 laps for the mandatory caution on lap 40. Jeremy, we are going to have a fight for those 2 first spots because this caution brought Tony DeGennaro close to Joshua Susi and Nick Olson. Tony is also an Xfinity regular, so
we're gonna have
we
a
now
good
have
fight on
3
our
guys.
hands. Yeah. Tony DeGennaro running that lime green Xbox One car, right behind the 53 Tech Slayer Dale Jr. remake.
It's pretty easy to spot Tony in the 22 on the track.
I like
that
that
lime green just pops. You know
I like
exactly
that,
where
that
he
33 Zippo lighter car behind him in Will Prue. That's a cool car.
Yeah, we do have a lot of cool paint schemes out there this race.
We got a lot of really good designers in ECR, so it's always fun to see
One-
what we bring out.
Yeah, one guy to keep an eye on as well, Jeremy. The number 52 was Scott Hunsinger starting 6 on the outside. We saw that outside lane getting a big jump on restarts. He's another Xfinity regular, very fast driver. So another guy to keep our eye out. If he clear the 66 of Pat Richey, that might be a
Oh, pace car's
another guy
back
to
out.
contend.
Pace car's back out front. Something, I'm guessing that was race control called. So it looks like
Yes.
yeah, we're going to go one more time around.
Yeah, we had a couple of cars that were not lined up correctly. They couldn't give the wave around the right way, so they threw an extra lap just to make sure that everybody can get in the right positions and restart the right way.
Okay, we're green this time. Ooh, Nick Olson's got to be careful about that. He looks like he almost changed lanes early.
Yeah, it was very close, very close.
At Bristol, it's so important to get up to that high side, but ECR, it is a rule, no changing lanes until you cross that start-finish line, so Nick's probably gonna, he's probably gonna be warned just to let him know he was close on that one.
Yes, I can hear race control. We got a direct line here with our race controllers, and they're already talking about he's probably going to get a small little warning from the control tower saying don't do that again, otherwise we're going to penalize you.
Right.
He got very close. Nothing happened, but he got very close.
That 81 is just able to turn off the corners so sharp. He's got that thing on rails tonight.
Josh is one of those guys that run a lot of fixed setup races here on iRacing. So fixed setups, it's they are his bread and butter. That's where he knows and where he dominates. He ran up front in a lot of races this year. He's definitely one of those drivers that knows how to keep a car clean, intact, and save tires running those long runs. So this is a name that we are going to have to mark down because if he wins this heat and he's pretty well positioned right now, he's going to be a very, very
Ooh,
strong
we got in the
contender
wall a
as he
little bit.
touches the wall
Yep.
on the outside.
We're coming to 2 laps to go here in this first heat, and we're going to see the caution brought out. But now Nick Olson's, he's trying to make a run at him. Right now, I don't think Nick is being... I mean, he's going to move into the... they brought the caution out a lap earlier, or is there a wreck?
I saw smoke on the track a little bit a while ago. I'm not sure if that was the case. There was one car very, very low on the racetrack.
I saw something maybe with Michael Guidry. I couldn't tell, and it won't let me back up, of course, because iRacing.
There was a spin with the 03 of Ken Ron, but he kept the car going, and right when the leaders were driving, I'm not sure if that was the caution. I think the caution was already out.
Because looking at the 03 right now, he looks pretty clean. He's got a little bit of left rear damage, but I mean only a little bit, so he looks good to keep going. Oh. Although I don't know if our race controllers are going to like that, if they were watching it. Yeah. This is just kind of annoying, not being able to see anybody on the track, or anybody on pit road. Oh, there they are. Jesus.
All right, Jeremy, we just got official confirmation from our race controllers. The first two qualifiers for our main event for the Dash for Cash, the 81 of Josh Susi and the number 53 of Nick Olson. So they are now both qualified for the to run for that extra Dash for Cash in the main event.
Good job to them, and we're gonna be going under caution here for a little bit. So got 7 more laps of caution that they're gonna do around here just to get everybody caught up. Make sure we have as many guys as possible in the lead lap, get some damage repaired, and have a good second half of this heat.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of cars getting their wave arounds. So race control is going to try their best up to a 5 lap wave. So drivers can get up to 5 laps back if there's enough time. Race control is going to try to put everybody back as much as they can into contention. And we should go green again when they cross the line for lap number 50. Jeremy, if you take a look at our scoreboard, our relatives, we are seeing a big shookup from the end of that first hit to now the start of the second. We see Brian Wilderson, the number 13, staying on the track. He's now our provisional leader, followed by the 26 of Caleb Sheets, the 83 of Josh Sheets, no relation even though they share the same last name. Chuck Harrow in the number 3 in 4th, and Matthew George in the number 50 in the 5th spot.
So
Justin Bland, that's starting up front in 6th. Nick Olson coming back in 7th. Josh Susi 8th. Tony DeGennaro 9th. And Jay Adair in 10th.
So these are all guys that we haven't seen up front. Well, okay, except for Josh Susi and Tony DeGennaro and our pole sitter Justin Bland. But the top 5, they're playing a strategy game. They're going to try and stay up there, and they're going to see if they can sneak a heat win away from these guys and see if they can put themselves into the Dash for Cash final.
Yeah, I'm just going to confirm. I know that Caleb Sheets is an Xfinity regular, so he is trying to get one of those spots. I'm just going to confirm who the next one is. Pretty sure it's Matthew George, who's running 5th. Just going to double check that right now. Actually, Joshua Sheets, who is now 3rd in number 83, he is also an Xfinity regular. So the Sheets boys running 2nd and 3rd. If our heat number 2 ended right now, they would be the 2 qualifiers that will join Josh and Nick Olson running for the Dash for Cash in the main event from laps 100 to 220.
We're going to get the 2 to go this time by, and we'll restart on lap 50, I do believe. 50 or 51. We're going to go another 40 laps to lap 90, and then we're going to have another 10 laps of caution after that. And on lap 100, we're going to restart this thing, and it's going to be a full race to the finish. as a normal race would be from lap 100 to lap 220.
And we're seeing a pretty good crowd out there in Bristol tonight, Jeremy. Looks like we have a better crowd for the ECR race than they have for the Cup race on Sunday.
Well, I mean, yeah. I, I don't even know what to say. Bristol is Bristol. Bristol should be sold out. But once they reconfigured this track, um, and they took that bottom line away, racing here just hasn't been the same. To be quite honest, it sucks. Because racing around the top, you can't push a guy really out of the way. Because you push a guy out of the way, you push him into the wall. And drivers aren't about just putting a guy in the wall just to get a position. So they're not being as aggressive as they used to be, whereas if you are on the bottom, you could push a guy up out of the way and he still had the whole top of the track to recover and they'd be fine and just keep going. So seeing the racing diminish here, it's not surprising to see the small amount of attendance that we saw this past week. But lights on the pace car route, we're going to be going green here at ECR with a full crowd because that's how awesome we are.
Yeah, yeah. And talk about a restart. Brian Wilderson shot out of a cannon. As we have a
Yellow's
caution.
out. What's it for? Nick Olson brought the caution out. Let's see what it is. And iRacing's decided to be a butthead and not show it to us again. Oh, look at that. He's already around on the bottom.
All I could see, he was down at the bottom and he rejoined the track.
Same here. Down close to pit road entrance, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to come back up on the track sideways. So, yep. Nick Olson, he's fast, so hopefully he'll be able to get back up front. Drop down to somewhere in the 12th range, 12th to 13th range, I want to say. Looks like we got
This is where
18,
this is where
19
he needs
guys
to
only
be.
left.
He needs to be smart right now because he's technically qualified for the Dash for Cash. So this particular heat doesn't mean anything for him. Granted that they needs to be in a good position for the main
Right,
event
that's
because
what.
we're not gonna we're not gonna reset any orders. They're gonna start the way that they are on the track at that moment. But if he's thinking about long-term racing now that he knows he's qualified for that thing, wait a little bit, save your car. A lot of things gonna happen in front of you, especially if you fell back the pack. Make sure that you're running in a safe place. And he's been doing a lot better trying to get his. We all know that he's fast and he knows that. He's been doing a lot better in the past couple of races, making sure that he needs to be there at the end to fight for good positions. So
Right.
I think after that Cup race that he ran at Auto Club, I think it clicked in his head what he needs to do, how he needs to drive in order to get the finishes that he gets on official racing. Pretty good, consistent driver during official races.
Yeah, he sure is. So, love to see it. translate here in the Cups or in the ECR series. But also something to keep in mind of, we're at Bristol. Bristol means contact, and tonight we have an 18 incident limit. So I think we're gonna see that become a problem tonight. Um, I don't know how much of a problem, but we had a problem at Texas, so Bristol might be a problem again.
Oh, especially at the end of the race during the main event after lap 150, 160, where guys are gonna have to gun it and gonna have to pretty much dive to the inside or trying to make something happen to pass. That's where we're going to see a lot of guys, just like we saw in Martinsville, guys that were leading the race because they slid a little bit, touched the wall, and they got disqualified because they hit the incident limit. So this is another thing that they need to be aware. And most drivers, they don't think about that. They just think about going hard as they should. But save your cars, guys. Save your equipment. You're gonna need it. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So here we go. Ready to restart.
Whoops, gotta fast forward. Forgot about that button.
Oh, and we have a crash. We have a crash.
Oh boy. Of course I missed it. Wow, lots of guys. 24 to 81 maybe? The 53 again maybe? 31, 94.
Yeah, the whole thing started involving the 83 of Josh Sheets, and I believe the 43 of Jay Adair. I think that's where the whole thing started.
Yeah, and unfortunately iRacing again isn't letting me go backwards, so sorry we can't show you what happened, but it looks like pace car's picking up the field. Got a few damaged cars from that one, the 83 and the 94's got a pretty good right front damage.
Yeah, this one I caught it here, Jeremy. So Joshua Sheets was on the outside, just like we said on uh, before the race started. Small little mistakes, small little touches here, they're going to cause a big one, and that's what happened. The the 43 of Gia there just came a little bit too close on the 83, touch him on the left quarter panel. The 83 just went around in the middle of the turn, blocking the track. The 81 of Josh Asusi was coming right behind. He got a major part of that thing. The 15 of Brad Bohr on the outside, he got a piece of it hitting the wall. A lot of carnage. A lot of carnage on that one.
Luis, I'm gonna have to step away for just a moment. Someone's at my door. I gotta go let them in and figure out what they want. I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
10 for a boss. Just for everybody out there at home while Jeremy take a little break and coming back. Brian Wilderson is still our leader, the number 13, followed by Caleb Sheets in the 26. Justin Bland, our pole sitter, after those first initial stops, he drove his way all the way back to third. Jay Adair is still running fourth. We're going to have to see if he's going to get a little bit of a penalty because of that incident or not. Tony DeGennaro in the 22 running fifth. Rob Burns running in the car number 12, running sixth. Matthew George in the number 50 running 7th. Rob Haynes, car number 68 running 8th. Brett Bohr running 9th in the 15, and Scott Hunsinger in the number 52 in the 10th place. I believe we're going to be ready to restart. The pace car is off, and Brian Wilderson on the 13 is out. Great restart for Brian on the outside. Pretty tight battle for second and third. Gia there made his way around Caleb Sheets. He made a win on the outside, so pretty good speed from the number 43. He's keeping it close to Brian, not letting him get away. Now you can see a lot of pressure from Gia there on the number 13, right? Putting to the inside. Let's see if he can make it stick. Nice pass by Gia there in the number 43. He's trying to bring the 26 off Caleb Sheets with him. Very aggressive move. A lot of patience. Set up that pass really, really well. Came out of the turn very close. Drop it to the inside and made the turn stick. Now we're going to have to see if Brian was saving his stuff and Jay just didn't care and just drove by it, or if the 43 just have a better speed right now in this particular moment, save a little bit of his tires. Because right behind Brian, the 26 of Caleb, the 22 of Tony DeGennaro, and Rob Burns in the number 12, they're following along. They're not far off. So that group seems to be driving very consistent, very fast. As our leaders are closing in on lap traffic. So we're about to see something for the first time during this race where our leaders are going to have to go through lap cars. It's going to happen in about half of lap. As we have a yellow, something happened. Let's try to find what happened.
And Luis, I just got back. It is Brian Wilderson upside down. He tumbled and tumbled and tumbled.
Wow.
Something's going on. He just got flung backwards onto the track. Hang on. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be done. We're going to see if it was some kind of...
I just got
glitch?
what happened here, Jeremy. I just got what happened here. Him and the 26 of Caleb Sheets got together.
Oh.
A
And it
massive,
took a 22, the
massive
3,
hit.
the 13, the 15 got damaged, and it looks like the 721, which is supposed to be the 21 of Trevor McManus, got some damage. And probably the 26. Whew. Another big one.
Yeah, we can tell right now there was a little bit of netcode involved in that thing. So just the proximity relatives from iRacing that we never know exactly how accurate they are. But there was a big I think Brian was just running the low line when he came out of the turn. I don't think he expected the 26 of coming out of the turn that fast, and it was just they ran out of room very fast, and all of a sudden they were together, and then Brian just became a barrel roll, just started tumbling around. And with all that, Jeremy, look who's our leader. Nick Olson in the number 53.
He's made his way back up there.
Yeah, we're going to start getting his ear a little bit more. So we complained a little bit about 10, 15 laps ago that he needed to be smart, save his stuff. There he is. There he
Well,
is.
he's back up front and probably going to restart with about 7 laps to go in this second heat.
He's followed by our newcomer, Mike Voss, in the number 72. Mike, his first start with ECR tonight, couldn't pick a tougher track to start his ECR career, but showing that he's in the right place, driving very smart, staying out of trouble, making his way to the front. He's another one eligible for the Dash for Cash since he is an Xfinity regular starting tonight. If he finishes in that position, he's going to be one of the qualifiers. Right now, Nick Olson, our leader, Mike Voss, 72, second place. Chuck Harrow starting third in the number 3. Tony DeGennaro made his way through that mess. He's starting fourth on the outside. Jai Hadrick on the 11 running fifth, and Scotty Brown on the 70 machine on the outside restarting sixth.
Yeah, we're green.
Right now, if nothing happens, the third and fourth qualifier for the Dash for Cash would be the 22 of Tony DeGennaro and the 72 of Mike Voss.
Which would be a pretty good or pretty big thing for Mike Voss. This is his very first start in any series with ECR. He's trying to take second away from Tony DeGennaro. No, couldn't get there.
Oh, that just goes to show, Jeremy, when you can drive, you can drive.
Yeah.
And not a better place to come show your skills than ECR. Guys, if you think you're fast, come race with us. We have a pretty good group of guys, very consistent. Sometimes you get some exciting races like we're having tonight, but it's definitely the place to be. So come check us out.
Yellow's out again.
Yeah. I think that's going to be it, Jeremy, for this heat number
Trevor
2.
McManus. He's got some pretty major front end damage there. I don't know if it's going to let us see what happened, but we're going to try.
Yeah, I can't.
You can't either? Oh, goody. Gotta love it.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why iRacing's doing that. The moment something happened with the car disappears from my ability to see anything.
Yeah, it's something with this last update they came out with. Some kind of... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is.
Well, Nick Olson did pit, so he's not going to finish officially our second heat in first place.
Right.
So we'll need to wait until the field crosses the line, everybody, and resets. Then we'll see who's where. All right, Jeremy, official confirmation from race control. 22 of Tony DiGennaro is our third qualifier, and the 72 of Mike Voss. He makes the show for the Dash for Cash. He is our fourth qualifier. I don't know what happened with Josh Susi, if he's still running or not.
I'm showing him 3 laps down. He is on the track.
Yeah, I see him on the track. So it's going to be Josh Susi in the 81, Nick Olson in the 53, Tony DiGennaro in the 22, and Scott Voss in the 72. Our four drivers fighting from lap 100 to 220
Oh god,
for the
2000.
ECR Dash for Cash.
Oh god,
That would have been a long race.
nightmare. Nah, I would just throw this puppy on the leader and just say have a good night.
All right, Jeremy. Now we can reset. Now we can regroup from everything that we've seen up until this point during this race. Give me a couple takeaways from who do you think has the stuff to win this race? And not talking about just the Dash for Cash, but the whole thing. Who is surprising you up until this point, both in a good and a bad way about what happened? Just midway through halftime analysis.
Halftime analysis. Alrighty, here we go. Well, my surprise for the night, he's on screen right now, the 72 of Mike Voss. First start with ECR. You never expect, well, I can't say you never expect, but you always hope that a newcomer is going to kind of learn his ways in the league and kind of get to know everybody. And he's gotten to know everybody at the front of the field. So, I mean, that's one way to do it. Disappointment for the night so far, it's been the one of John Schweikert. He got involved in a very early incident. I believe he disconnected from the room. He's multiple laps down. But I mean, we've seen some green flag racing. Not much more than like a 15 lap run, but I can't say that's not a shock in at Bristol, but still hate to see it.
Yeah, I'm with you with the 72 of Mike Voss, but I want to give a shout out to another guy who barely made the Dash for Cash main event. He is on track right behind the 72 of Mike Voss. That is Scotty Brown in the number 70.
Oh yeah.
Scotty does our broadcasts for our truck series here at ECR. Started running Xfinity Series a couple races ago because he really, really want to be a part of the race and not only be in the booth. Is one of those guys that started on our racing just a couple months ago and is getting better and better. More track time he gets, the better he runs. He's one of those guys that he was afraid that he couldn't get the handling of the car and getting the right speed right before the race. And look where he is right now, taking care of his stuff, running his race, running up front in the fourth position. So pretty surprising right now for another rookie at ECR, just a couple of races in. So pretty good show from our rookies. Like you said, I would love to see what the number one of John Schweikert, the 6 of Stephen Massey, we're going to do here tonight, together with the 46 of Mark Bratcher. Those were three guys that I really wanted to see running side by side. Think we were going to see one hell of a race between those guys. And like you said, Bristol's Bristol. We're seeing a typical Bristol race. Wrecks, contact, cars in the wall, yellow flags, different strategies, different
iRacing
things.
screwing up. You know, typical.
Typical Bristol. So well, if we do have a second half of this race like we had the first one, we're in for a treat because I'm pretty sure these guys that are pitted right now and they're going to restart mid-pack all the way to the back, a couple of them, they have something to say. They're going to be trying to bully their way through the field. And a lot of the names that we haven't talked about yet tonight, like the number 5 of AJ Scarborough, for instance, the 93 of Donnie James, the 94 of Chris Collins, the 68 of Rob Haynes. Those are all very fast drivers. They're sitting way back in the pack, in between the 20th and 30th position. like they're just waiting for the time when the thing actually is going to mean something to make their move. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes the first leap first, the first jump, and goes up to the front to fight.
Oh boy. It's really annoying me tonight with iRacing. There's always something with them.
Well, at least they're letting us show the top 10, top 12 cars all the time, which is not a bad thing. So
Yeah, because I can't even show the standings right now. It says everyone's retired.
well, that's why you have me in the booth.
Yeah, this is true.
Human standing machine. Here I am.
Yeah. Just a
Talking
quick.
about standings.
No,
yeah,
go ahead.
here you
Go,
go.
no, go ahead. I was gonna ramble on about something stupid.
I was just gonna read you how everybody's sitting right now as we're getting close to go back to green flag.
See,
Our new leader right now, the 43 of Jay Adair, followed by the 26 of Philip Sheets. Mike Voss starting third, Scotty Brown fourth. Will Prue in fifth in the number 33 machine, with Chris Steele, the number 92, sitting in sixth place. The 22 of Tony DeGennaro will restart seventh, with Scott Hunsinger in the 52 restarting eighth. Doug Haas in the 31 will restart ninth, and Nathan Miller in the number 40 machine restarting in 10th place.
see, I was just gonna go through and tell you what baseball teams were winning.
Oh. I know the Red Sox lost, so
Wah, wah, wah.
not that happy about it.
Angels are winning 6-0. Just so you know.
There you go. There you go.
All right, guys. We're getting ready to go restarting, and this will be the start of the main event. We're going from lap 101 to lap 220. So we'll see what this main event brings me. We'll see him calm down a little bit and hopefully get some long green flag runs and get this race over with.
Yeah, we won't see mandatory cautions. So what happens on the track will now dictate when cautions are going to come out.
Yeah, we'll see who's got something left for this main event, and hopefully someone can keep going and pull out this main event win. Hopefully someone new. That's always good to see.
Well, our first 8 drivers right now, no one has a victory at ECR at any time, any series. So
Douglas Hess doesn't?
those are pretty good picks.
Oh, that's because, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the only guy with a victory in the top 8 right now is Douglas Hess. He won last year a race.
Forget where. I think it was a mile and a half, but yeah.
Now he actually won the Talladega race during the
Talladega
chase
race.
in the Cup
Oh,
Series.
gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. And 26 of Caleb Sheets, he's caught up to Jay Adair, and he's going to challenge him for the lead here momentarily. And he's going around him.
that was an interesting move of
Yeah.
Jay. Pretty much let him by.
Yeah. But then again, I think Jay Adair knows that we have 114 laps to go. We're just getting started here in the main event. So Probably a smart move by Jay.
I saw someone that was coming with a lot of steam behind him. They didn't pit during the last caution, so they are still
Ooh, yeah,
on the
that's right.
track with the tires that they were during that second stint. So just trying to save his car, make sure that he has everything to keep running laps. If someone's faster at this point, just let him go, save your stuff,
I
and
never
make
have
sure
a
they.
problem letting someone go who's faster than me, especially somewhere
Yeah.
like here where they can just kind of put you out of the way and into the wall. I go on by. I'll pull down low, you take the high line.
And Jeremy, right now we officially hit halfway,
Mm-hmm.
110 laps.
110 laps to go. So we're getting there. 33 also goes around the 43 of Jay Adair. 33 Will Prue.
Oh, that's a top three that we normally don't see. Caleb Sheets, Mike Voss, and Will Prue.
Will Prue's been up there a couple times, but yeah, Mike Voss obviously never see him because it's his first start. And Caleb Sheets, I mean, he's got a damaged race car. That thing is pretty beat up, but he's able to keep it out front. He's keeping out front of the 72 Mike Voss.
Yeah, this goes to show everybody out at home watching the race. We talk about this race in and race out that probably ECR has one of the most competitive fields out there. No matter the series, either truck, Xfinity, or Cup. Any given race, depending on the track, you're going to see a lot of familiar names, but you can never say who's going to win. So, and this just shows you, like our top four guys right now, top five guys, no one has a win at ECR. We see a guy making his first start, running second, a couple veterans that have been running here, there, all the way up in the front. So, pretty exciting to see a lot of different names, a lot of different guys running up front, fighting for a win.
And also just to answer a question, Joshua Buckman, what overlay am I using? It's a custom overlay that one of the guys developed. If you're still even here, it was a while back he asked this, but it's a custom overlay that one of the guys developed. He used to broadcast for us. I just asked him if I could use it, and he allowed me to. So you'd have to get in contact. Yellow's out, but you'd have to get in contact with him. I don't think he's online anymore, so I don't really feel comfortable giving out this overlay because I know they're a lot of work. But yeah.
As we got a caution, Jeremy.
Yeah. Trying to do a couple quick Twitter updates for anybody who is following us on Twitter, but
Yeah, I don't know where that caution came from, but I know that our race leader, the 26, Josh Sheets, he made it to the pit stop. And on a side note, Jeremy, a very good point uh, that our league president just reminded me here from the control booth. None of our cautions tonight came on the expense of poor camber control like the Gibbs cars had. So
oh,
nothing happening on that front tonight for us. Every ECR mechanic made sure that that was not going to be an issue tonight. So good to know that everybody was paying attention and took care of that issue for tonight's race.
yeah.
Well, we can joke around as much as we want, but still, a Joe Gibbs car won the race. So.
Yeah. Too much domination these days.
Yeah, I don't know what they're working on that factory, but
It's
if
working.
I'm, yeah, I will try everything that I can to get my hands
Yeah.
on a little bit of Joe Gibbs special fairy dust that they're putting on those cars.
Yeah, Hendrick has really fallen off compared to the last few years where, I mean, Jimmy Johnson dominated. We saw Dale Jr. win quite a few races, Jeff Gordon win a couple, Casey Kane, of course not. But it it's just hard to figure out how one team can dominate for so long. I mean, we saw, like I said, Hendrick dominate for years. I'd say probably 8 years. They had everyone just swept. And then Stuart Haas had it for about 2 years. And now it's Joe Gibbs just across the board. Just domination.
Yeah, we're still seeing a lot of the same suspects. You saw Harvick running up front. Uh, Junior finished a very strong second. So at the end of those races, they're there. We're just not seeing that, like you said, that crazy pace the entire race. All four cars in the top five, crazy like the Gibbs are right now. I think there's a lot to do with the technical package that they're running. Development. Toyota did put a lot of money into making that program a success after years of trying. So it's just when everything comes together, the drivers, the crewmen, the engineers, the technical package that works in your favor, that's what you get. You get a guy, a team that will run up front everybody, every race, every weekend.
Yeah. Oh, green flag's out. Sorry, guys. Nick Olson back out front. See if we can get a long green flag run in here and knock some of these laps off. We got 96 laps to go.
Yeah, Nick Olson's our leader, followed by Caleb Sheets in the 26. Josh Sheets on the 83. So again, the Sheets boys running up front. Josh Soucy just made a pass, and he's now in third. He just passed Josh Sheets. Doug Haas is running fifth in the number 31 machine, followed by Nathan Miller in the number 40, running sixth. Donnie James in the number 93, he's running second, followed by Scott Hunsinger in the 52. Will Prue in the number 33, running ninth, and Rob Burns closing our top 10 running right now. From all our Mike Voss fans out there, he is now running 12 after pit stop, so he took his time, got fresh rubber, and he's now running 12th.
And where's the 22? Yeah,
Tony
is he off
DeGeneres is
track?
running 13, right behind the 72 of Mike Voss.
Oh, there we go. And refresh. Yellow's out. The 11 and the 43. Jai Hedrick and the 43 of the other guy, Jay Adair.
Jay Adair.
Yeah, both of them involved in that last scuffle. Let's see if it'll let us watch this one.
This is ridiculous.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, iRacing, I'm one of your biggest supporters, and from previous broadcasts, you guys know this, but this is one of those moments where if you're gonna release something that doesn't work completely, don't release it because it frustrates a lot of people out there, and your customers that put a lot of time and effort into building something like that to run on your platform. When something goes like this, it's your name being dragged and
Right
something
through
that
the
is
dirt.
not working. So
Yep.
bad on you, iRacing. Shame on you. Shame on you.
I just wish they would listen to us, but they never do. And if one of y'all admins of iRacing are watching, I hope you guys can fix it, because I don't know. Too many problems. Just
No,
way too many problems.
it has nothing to do with additional software being run by trying to broadcast. Has nothing to do with it because Jeremy's using on his computer the software. I'm not, and I'm having the same problems.
Yeah, everyone was having the same problems
Yeah,
throughout the entire
so
race.
that's what happened when you release new patches all the time. You never know what you're fixing a couple of things, but you don't never know what you're breaking. So complicated, complicated.
Just frustrating. That's pretty much what it comes to.
But that's not going to stop us, Jeremy. No, it won't.
Nope.
We're going to be here,
We will be
racing,
here for the next
broadcasting.
86 laps.
Oh, yeah. No matter what our racing tries to do, unless they shut down the server,
Yep.
we're going to be here. So,
Although I will say they fixed one problem with DirectX 11. There was quite a few people were having problems of it just locking up your computer and having to restart. So they fixed that problem, but they created about 10 more.
well, that's coming from an IT background. Once you do such a big change like iRacing did, going from the X9 to the X11, pretty much rewriting their entire code to a new base and being able to do a lot of the new stuff that they're going to come out with, like smoke, like changing daytimes from starting during the day, finishing at night, and vice versa. And thing that everybody seems to be waiting the most, that is dirt tracks.
Dirt tracks.
So they needed to create the platform. So a lot of bugs are going to come out. The thing's not perfect yet, even though they did a pretty good job. We just need to, we just wish the thing was working 100%. But it is what it is. It's what we have right now. It's a lot better than not having anything. So thanks, guys, for doing all the hard work. And we're going to go green once again. So, Jeremy, take it away.
Oh, did I not fast forward? Crap. Take it away, Luis.
Well, we're not going green just yet. For some reason, we are going to have another lap.
Oh, then maybe I was live. Oh well.
That was weird.
Yeah. Probably someone wasn't lined up and they extended
unless
it.
they lined up a lap before.
No, because I saw the lights on the pace car go out and then they came back on, and I heard the spotter say we're not going green this time. So probably someone wasn't lined up properly and race control extended it.
Actually, race control just gave us the official. That was iRacing by themselves. So
Just
as we said that
good
they were
iRacing.
doing a good job, there they go again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, pace
All right.
car's off, and the 53 Nicholson's away.
Very nice restart by Nick.
Got another guy who's up in the top 5. We haven't seen him up there. Douglas Hess. He's made his way up there. Right behind him is Josh Susi. Scott Hunsinger, Nathan Miller, another one. Mike Voss, he's found his way back into the top 10. Chris Collins, I think this is one of his first starts for ECR. And then the 22 who's in the running for the Dash for Cash, and the 64, Mark Bratcher. Rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, Doug has on the 31. He loves the short tracks. He's pretty good at them. Runs very fast every time at Martinsville. Won a couple of races. So it's not a surprise that he's here fighting for the win right now. So this track and next week in Richmond, that's a name for you guys to circle around, because he's going to be fighting for a win, the 31 at Doug Hess.
I can't wait for Richmond. Oh, he squeezes the 81 up.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah.
Close.
He's going to have to watch that one. Ooh, he gets a little loose. He's good. Oh, no, he's done.
There he goes.
Yep, he hit the apron coming off the corner.
We're not in yellow yet. We're still going green.
I don't know how that wasn't a yellow. That's a tough break for the 31, especially because technically that was 2 cars, so that should have brought out a yellow by ECR standards. But
think because he was out of the track. He was
Yeah, he was on the black part of the
stopped on
track.
the apron.
Yeah.
And it was not an immediate or something like that. Our race controllers didn't seem the reason to pull the yellow flag.
Yeah. That's gonna be a tough break for him because he's probably gonna have to go into the pits and fall multiple laps down now.
Are we starting an A-run curse just like our partners at MaxSpeed TV?
No,
We
no,
start to say something
because
good about someone, and
I
all
didn't
of a
actually
sudden they'll
talk to
crash?
them. I didn't actually talk to them on track. Douglas Hess actually is the one guy who has not to be interviewed. So yeah. Bam. Gotta talk to him to have the curse real. Talking about him doesn't count.
For everybody at home that doesn't know what we're talking about, our broadcast crew that does our cup races on Tuesday from MaxSpeed TV, Rudy and his team, every time that they interview someone, chances are that that person's going to get involved in a wreck.
Yep.
And right after the interview ends. So we started to play around that if you get interviewed doing a race, too bad, your race is going to be over.
Yep. That's why I tend to interview the people I don't like. Ha ha ha. Oh, caution's out. Right in front of leaders. Woo, right in front of leaders. I think it was a 33. Will Prue. Again, I'm not going to be able to see it, but Will Prue went around on his own or with some help. Who knows? Because iRacing doesn't
I got that one. I got that one here, Jeremy. He actually got together with Doug Hess.
Oh.
Doug actually made it around, was still on the lead lap, trying to fight his way through. And Will actually got loose by himself going into the turn for some reason. Doug was coming right behind, gave him that extra push, sent him around. But that one goes probably on the 33 of Will Prue. A lot of cars coming to pit road, Jeremy. So let's see who comes out of those pit sequences
On
up
top.
in front. And one thing that we haven't talked about, and a lot of people at home might notice, because Bristol is such a short track, we have guys pitting on both sides of the track. So if we start to say that someone's leading and all of a sudden they're appearing back in 10th place, that might be it, because they pitted on one side, all of a sudden they had to pit on the other one. And after everything readjusted, they're now in their back in the position. So right now, my relative is saying that the number 10 of Blake Freeman is leading the race. Not sure if he pitted or not.
I don't think he did. But again, can't tell.
Scotty. And we got confirmation. Yeah, the EOL goes to Will Prue in the number 33 for that spin. So he gets the EOL penalty for that last caution.
Scotty, what do you apologize for? Must have missed it.
Yeah, something happened to Scotty Braun, the number 70. He all of a sudden he disconnected. Not sure what happened to him. He was running fine. As far as I could tell, his car was still good. Not sure if something happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Blake Freeman's our new leader, the number 10. He's going to be restarting on the outside, followed by Nick Olsen, the 53, Nathan Miller starting, Joshua Susi starting third, Nathan Miller starting fourth in the number 40, Chris Collins in the 94, Caleb Sheets in the 26, Donnie James in the number 93, Mark Bratcher in the 64, Tony DeGennaro in the 22, and Rob Haynes in the 68. Our top 10 drivers right now as Blake takes the field into green flag. We're racing again.
And Nick Olsen got probably one of the better restarts we've seen on that bottom side. Can he get in front of the 10 car and take the lead? He does. I think that shows the 10 probably did not come to pit road this last time. The 10's in the wall. He's good.
Yeah, I think fresh tires were king in that restart, Jeremy. I think. Oh, he hits the wall again, the number 10.
Ooh! 26 just had to slam on the brakes. That 10 cut right across his nose. Uh-oh. Is that me or is that him?
Yeah, I think he had a little bit of a connection jump.
Okay, so it was
but everything seems to be stable. As we have a massive group of guys driving behind him.
All these guys are trying to get by him now. Looks like he's got some pretty good damage. And that 26 is just getting beaten around because of this 10 car. He's got the 26 has got some pretty major damage now because the 10 just keeps hitting the wall and stopping. Nothing changed out front. Our leader's still at 53 in Nick Olsen. We got a slow car on the inside. Looks like the 79 of Joshua Witherspoon. Looks like he might have blown his motor.
And Nick Olsen up in front, opening almost a second advantage to Josh Susi.
Ooh, wreck behind, 72, 83, 30, 22, 10 car, caution's out. Looks like that was again going to be probably on a 10 car. See if it'll let us see it. Looks like he got into the wall and again just stopped in front of the field. Please let us see it. Of course you're not going to. No, wait. Oh no, the 72 got loose coming off the corner.
Yeah, I was just about to say that it happened to him what happened to Brian a little bit earlier. That bottom lane, very treacherous depending on the angle that you're getting out of the turn. So got a little bit wiggly. The 10 was right on the outside. Then the 22, the 83, 22 Tony DeGennaro, the 83 of Josh Sheets, the 52 of Scott Hunsinger. They all got a piece of that. Apparently everybody's still running, but they all got damage out of that one.
Yeah, I'm seeing the 22. Okay, 22 is leaving pit road now. Did I fast forward yet? I don't think I did. Let's check.
Yeah, the 83 of Josh Sheets, he's smoking pretty bad. He's still on the track trying to make his way towards the pits.
So we got the 22 was one of our Dash for Cash involved in that one, but it looks like he's going to be able to keep it on track. The 72, I know he was the one who brought the caution out, so I don't see.
He is still on the track. He is now in my dash. He's here in 6th place.
He's pulling the pits
right behind.
Right now. So he's going to pit, probably repair some damage would be my guess. Who else we got? The 53 is leading, and the 81 of Josh Sushi is in second. So.
Yeah, our first and second running right now. We're second and first in our first elimination heat between laps 1 and 40. So coming back when it's time to go, showing that they have the speed. That was not a fluke.
All right, Luis. So we've seen the 53 of Nick Olson. He's been fast all night. You think he's gonna be able to close it out here? We got 50, probably about 51, 50 to go when we take the green again.
Jeremy, he surely is one of the faster cars out there. He's pretty good on a short run, so we've seen him, especially in the restart. I think he was the only one that was able to restart side by side with that outside guy. So he surely is fast on the short run, but he has probably two of the best fixed setup racers that we have at ECR right behind him in Josh Seuss in the 81 and Nathan Miller on the number 40. Nathan already won a race earlier this year. He won an Auto Club, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty tough company, but Nick's been driving up front. He has the speed, and it could be one of those races where everything clicks. If he can keep his car clean, don't overdrive, don't do anything to kill his own chances, it's gonna be hard to beat him. He has a pretty good machine under the number 53. As he goes in a very good restart once again. Oh, contact! We had a major contact between the number
Caution's
40.
Out. '40 was in third on that, or third or
between Nathan Miller and the 94 of Chris Collins. Chris came a little bit too aggressive on the inside of Nathan in the number 40. Got a little bit of the quarter panel and just spun him around. Wow, and one guy that got the very, very, very bad out of that thing was the 03 of Ken Run. Had nothing to do with that incident, but because Nathan was so slow coming out of the wall, the 03 of Ken Run just hit him full blast coming from behind, completely kill his motor.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the 03, and again, sorry guys, can't show you because something's amiss with the server tonight. I hate beating a dead horse into the ground, but yeah.
Well, Jeremy, with everything that happened, Nick Olson still our leader in the number 53, followed by Josh Susi. Mark Bratcher making his debut race here in the Xfinity Series in that number 64. He's running third, followed by Caleb Sheets in the 26. Donnie James in the number 93 car. Scott Hunsinger in the 52. Tony DeGennaro, another one of our eligible drivers for the Dash for Cash, still alive, running seventh. Chris Steele in the number 92, running eighth. Doug Haas rebounding back from that spin. He's all the way back. Position now number 11. Joshua Wallace showing up at the top 10 for the first time tonight in the number 24.
I didn't even know he was racing.
And Andrew Ackerman running in 10th position in that number 2. Also got involved in an early wreck. Made sure that he fixed everything. Still running pretty good in the 10th place. And with that problem, Nathan Miller in the number 40 is all the way down to the 15th spot.
That's a tough break for him after restarting. I believe he restarted third or fifth there, the last restart. So
I think he was restarting fourth on the outside. I think that's where the contact came from. Well, here we go once again, lining up side by side. 174 laps in.
47 laps, Doug. Uh-oh.
Yeah, less than 50 to go. This should be very fast from now all the way to the end. So
And we're green. Wow, Nick Olson, another huge restart.
Jeremy, he went so fast out of that turn. When he got to the straight, he was still going sideways. He needed to take off his foot out of the gas just to keep the car going straight.
Hey, as soon as the pace car goes in, you can hit that gas pedal, so.
Yeah, for everybody watching the race right now, not familiar with ECR rules, here we follow exactly what NASCAR does, so the leader can pick if he wants to start on the inside or outside, not just like iRacing where you're forced to start in a certain position. And we have our very own restart box that goes from when the pace car hits the apron, when he's going into the pits, all the way to the green flag. Whenever he wants during that portion of time, the leader can just go. So that's what Nick Olson did. Took advantage of that rule and opened up 6 tenths in front of Caleb Sheets in the 22nd, in the 26.
And back out front, Nick Olson. He's still pulling away from the 26 of Caleb Sheets, who's got some pretty good damage. Nick Olson's car is actually, he's kept it pretty clean tonight. It's a little surprising for Bristol. Take a look at the guys behind him, and they're 81's actually not bad, but the 26, it's seen its better days.
Yeah, he saw a lot of action together with that outside wall when he was running behind the 10 of Blake Freeman on old tires. So took a little bit of a beating.
64 back behind them, he looks real clean. He must have been staying in the pits the whole race. Seeing Scott Hunsinger try and make a move on the 64 Mark Bretcher. Scott Hunsinger, another one we see up front relatively often here in the fixed series that we run. So
Yeah, another one of those guys that run a lot of, or ran up until this point in his career, a lot of fixed races, official races on iRacing. So he knows exactly what to do to keep his car clean and position himself in the right way to make sure that he has a chance to win week in and week out.
yep.
Yeah, he's putting a lot of pressure on Mark Bretcher right now, diving on the inside, trying to make that pass. And he's not coming along. He's bringing with him the 93 of Donnie James. So they seem to have a much better pace, race pace right now than the 64 of Bratcher.
Yep. And Nick Olson, he's still pulling away.
And Nick opened up almost a second in front of Caleb Sheets. So pretty
Comparing
strong.
lap times, Nick Olson ran a 15.681, and Caleb Sheets ran a 15.78. So about a tenth faster, Nick Olson is. See if it's any different this time by. Caleb Sheets a little bit faster that time, but still Nick able to hold the 1 second lead. But he's catching lap traffic.
Yeah, he's got the 15 of Brad Bohr with a lot of damage running in front of him. Brad staying to the bottom. No problems for Nick going by him.
And that is kind of a sad point. Brad Bohr, he just went 2 laps down, running in 10th spot. Oh, does that mean that Mike Voss is out? No. That just means that iRacing screwed up again. He's in 7th.
Mike Voss running strong, still 72, running 7th right now, right behind Donnie James in the 93.
Oh boy. And Nicholson, 1.1 second lead now. Pulling a little bit at a time.
Yeah, he was going to go by the number 50 of Matthew George, but Matthew had a problem with his engine starting to smoke, and he had to retire the car to the pits.
Ah, tough break for the 50.
And speaking about pitting, the 72 of Mike Voss just dove into the pits. Not sure if he has a problem or he's going for fresh rubber for these final 20-something laps.
Well, I can tell you, unless if he hadn't pitted in a while, that ain't gonna work. But he's gonna go 2 laps down. That's a little puzzling, but
Yeah, he's already 2 laps down. So.
yeah.
Well, Nick Olson putting on a show, a second, 1.2 seconds ahead of Caleb Sheets in the 26. And right behind Caleb, don't look in your rearview mirror because you're going to see 3 guys fighting side by side like madmen trying to get by to get to you. The 81 of Josh Susi, the 64 of Mark Bratcher, and the 52 of Scott Hunsinger bouncing off the wall trying to get position. That's a fight.
It's all going to be who wants to try the low side to get around this 26. So I think is probably holding these guys up a little bit, but we see Mark Bratcher, he's ducked down low. He's trying to get around the 81 on the low side. See if he can make that line work and hopefully get up in the top 3 and move up to the leader.
Yeah, I wonder, we talked about this, Jeremy, and tires in a concrete asphalt surface in a long green flag run. Like a lot of these guys, they've been on the track for a while with these tires. So maybe
there
this
they
is
go,
where
64 into the 52. Caution's going to be out.
Oof, yellow flag is out. Not what Nick Olson wanted to see.
Where did Bratcher go? Bratcher's got a lot of damage to that car now.
Well, Netcode was involved in that thing.
Oh, goody.
They were just...
The way it looked, Netcode might have been involved, but it almost looked like it was going to happen either way, because it looked like Mark kind of pushed up off the corner, and who was it?
It was Scott Hunsinger in the 52.
Yeah, the 52. Yeah, the 52 was already there, so it kind of looked to me like it was going to happen either way, but tough break for both those guys. I think Scott Hunsinger might have been able to drive away with it, but the 64 is pretty banged up.
Yeah, Scott his car is definitely like more aerodynamic right now with a lot less metal on that right side from going around the wall. But they just ran out of space. It looked like one of those things that they just got way too close and things happen. So I don't see a fault in anybody too drastic. It was just racing incident where they were just fighting for the same position on the track and they just got a little bit too close.
We're gonna have a restart here. What is Bratcher doing? Okay, he left the room. Or he left the... He was parked backwards on the entrance of pit road.
Well, Jeremy, 15 laps to go. Nick Olson, our leader.
Led the most laps tonight by far.
Caleb Sheets with a destroyed race car still holding out to the second position. Don't count him out. The 52 of Scott Hunsinger running third, now with a little bit more damage than he had. The 93 of Donnie James now running fourth. He's going to have that outside lane restarting right behind Nick Olson. So watch out for the restart of that number 93. Tony DiGennaro, another one of our racers fighting for the Dash for Cash. He's in fifth. Rob Burns, another name that we haven't spoke a lot about. His car is very much clean. He has a little bit damage on that outside, the right front, but other than that, pretty clean car. He'll restart sixth. Jasusi following to the 7th position, trying to climb his way back into contention. Doug Has rebounding really well in the number 31. He'll be restarting 8th. Josh Wallace in the number 24. He'll be restarting 9th. And Chris Steele closing out our top 10 right now with 14 laps to go. Jeremy, do you think we're going to go green, or do you think we're going to see
No.
caution after caution till the end?
I hope it's green, but no. I think we're going to see a caution here pretty quickly.
Well,
I just hope it doesn't involve these front guys. And Nicholson, how many got left? 10? 10 on the lead lap?
Now we have 13 cars on the lead lap.
Okay.
If he gets the restarts that he's been getting, doesn't spin out the tires, he has a pretty good shot. So we'll see.
He timed it a little bit
There
different
he
that time.
goes.
All right, 14 laps to go. Who does it? Can anyone get up there to Nicholson, or does Nicholson pull away and take the checker flag here at Bristol? Ooh, 93 on the wall. These guys are getting so close
What
together.
a run.
God. 52 involved in that last wreck. He's still up in 3rd. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there they go. Big wreck behind.
Caution's out, caution's out.
That was the 26, and I think that's going to do the 26 in tonight. Yeah, actually, it kind of looks like 26 may have gotten DQ'd for incident points. Nicholson, he's going to have to do it again.
Wow, that was a...
Yeah, kind of looked like... I mean, again, can't see it because it doesn't want me to let me go back, but...
Well, that one we just lost. Mark Bratcher, Blake Freeman, and Rob Burns, they all disconnected, either for too much damage or because they hit the incident limit. So, 3 guys that were running pretty well. And we also saw the 81 Al Jasusi making his way very slowly to the pits with a lot of smoke coming out of that engine. So he might be done.
So we got the 22 of Tony DeGennaro. He's going to restart 4th. He's involved in our Dash for Cash. And our leader, the 53, he's involved. Not in the incident, but involved in the Dash for Cash. Looks like the 72 of Michael Voss is done.
He is 2 laps down. He pitted under green. Remember that we
Oh, yes,
called
that's
it?
right. Yep.
So something happened. He's still 2 laps back.
And then our last guy was the 81 of Josh Susi, which we just said went onto pit road, and he's sitting there in the pits. He just went a lap down, so...
Yeah, he's now a lap down.
Yeah.
So right now we have 10 guys on the lead lap. Our top 10, as of right now, going for this restart. Nick Olson, the number 53, has been our leader for a while and seemed to be restarting pretty well. Donnie James in the number 93, he's going to be restarting 2nd, sorry. Got a pretty good restart following Nick on that outside, drove by the 26. Got a pretty good position. Scott Hunsinger on the 52, he'll be restarting 3rd. Tony DeGennaro, he'll be restarting 4th. And he'll be restarting behind Nick if he chooses the outside again. So watch out for now the 22 to have a pretty good restart. Josh Wallace in the number 24, cracking the top 5 for the first time. He'll be restarting 5th. Doug Has in the 31, he'll be restarting 6th on the outside. Chris Steele in the number 92 is in 7th. Andrew Ackerman in the number 2 is in 8th. Chris Collins in the number 94 coming back, and he'll be restarting 9th. And the last driver on the lead lap, Nathan Miller, the number 40, still alive, trying to bounce his way back. There we go, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I believe we're going to restart here with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, we just took 8, and the lights are off in the pace car. We're going to be going green with 7 laps to go. So pretty much, if we go green and we go 1 lap, that's going to be, it'll be checkers or wreckers, pretty much.
Yeah, remember that we don't have green-white checkers here on iRacing. So if we do see a caution with 5 laps to go, that's pretty much the race. I don't think we're going to restart. So they're going to have 2-3 laps to take this victory away from Nick Olson. So he's going to
Yep.
bring the field. Let's see what happens.
Let's do it. Nick Olson's away. Tony DeGennaro did not get a good start whatsoever. He is way back. He's falling back to 5th with a 24 going around him on the low side. These guys are fighting real hard back here. Out front, the 93 of Donnie James. He's trying to pull up to the 53 of Nick Olson. He's trying to get the lead away. We're coming to 5 laps to go.
Oh, he dove in pretty aggressive to the bottom.
And it's stuck, though. That's the thing.
Think he's going to try it again. Here he comes. Here he comes.
There he goes. Oh, God. He is pushing that thing. I wonder if he pitted and got fresh tires. Nick Olson's going to have to defend on the high side real bad.
Oh, I don't think he's going to be able to. No. There goes Donnie James.
Yeah. Now all Nick Olson can do is try and keep himself in front of the number 81 of Josh Susi. No, the other guy. The 22 Tony DeGennaro. And he will get that bonus. But we're coming to 2 laps to go. Donnie James, your leader. Scott Hunsinger, he's trying to get his first win.
Donnie James and Scott Hunsinger trying everything that he can.
Hunsinger's looking high. He's going to get back on this bumper. Coming into turn 3. Ooh. Donnie James throws the block low. He's going to try it high. Coming to white flag. This time by. And Donnie James, your leader, Scott Hunsinger. He's going to try the high side again with Donnie James sticking it down low.
Here we go. Last turn, last turn. Scott's going to try to cross him.
No. Donnie James, your winner.
Donnie James is the winner.
Wow. Nice run there for Donnie James, Scott Hunsinger. Josh Wallace, he finished up in the top 5. I think Nick Olson's going to come up here and kind of give a little bumper to Donnie James, maybe. Yeah. Nick Olson, probably not the happiest person in the world, but I think it was pretty clean.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. They drove it side by side. A lot of space being given by everybody. So tough race.
I want to say that the 93 pitted on that last stop, so fresh tires were something.
Yeah, I don't know when he pitted, but that was a move. Either he was saving his stuff pretty well, so pretty sure we can ask him when we talk to him. But our top 10 right now, Donnie James is your winner. Scott Hunsinger in the 52 coming second. Josh Wallace, pretty good finish, rounding up the top 3. Doug Hess in 4th. Chris Collins in 5th. Nick Olson finishing 6th. Nathan Miller is in 7th. Chris Steele 8th. Andrew Ackerman in 9th. And Tony DeGennaro finishing up our top 10 tonight.
And our first interview of the night, 3rd place, Josh Wallace. Josh, we didn't see you up front really at all until the end of the race, but talk about your race, bud, and how it went tonight, even though we saw 14 cautions, but, you know, that's Bristol, sadly.
Oh my gosh, that was so eventful.
Yeah.
I started in the back trying to play it safe, then I got hit from behind and got damaged, so the majority of the race is trying to get the damage fixed, and then the cautions and people just started wrecking and everything was falling my way, and then I got 4 there at the end, and I wish I had more laps. I think I could have done something with them, but
yeah, either way, great race for you tonight. Come back to 3rd.
Hey, Josh, really quickly before we let you go, do you remember when did you last pit it? Because we saw now at the end a lot of guys coming from behind. Looked like a couple of guys had fresher tires than the people that restarted up in front. You think you had a little bit more fresher tires because of pit strategy?
Oh yeah, those guys. I couldn't believe they didn't pit on that pit stop, but I definitely had 4 fresh tires. I was trying to get as good a restart as I could, just try to do something with them. But it's fun watching them because that was a good finish right there. But I just had more laps. Could have done something.
Well, you came home with a very, very, very good third place finish. So, want to thank anybody from the team. Just here's your chance. You have the floor, sir. Congratulations on the third place finish.
Oh, thank you guys. I just got to thank AJ for giving me the ride. Other than that,
Are we gonna race? Are you gonna see your race tomorrow night, or you're off from Bristol?
I think I'm gonna take Bristol off as intense.
Awesome, great job, Buck. Congratulations again. Awesome race.
Thank you guys.
Yes, sir. That was Josh Wallace. Now we got the 52 of Scott Hunsinger down here with us. Scott finishing second tonight. It was Bristol. It was wild, but talk about your race in particular.
A lot of fun. I mean, there was some ups and downs. Got caught in a couple of things, but fortunate that the damage wasn't too bad. So there on the end, I had no idea what the damage was like from the incident with Mark, but there was no way I was going to pit. So seemed to hold together.
Yeah, Scott, we saw you get very close in that with about 40 something laps to go. You, Mark, Brett, or Scott, Justice, you guys were running very aggressive, trying to position itself. At that point, you guys, it was crossing your mind that I need to get everything that I can because we never know when this thing is going to go yellow, if it's going to go green. It was about positioning, or were you trying to save a little bit, trying to wait for a late push like you did?
A little bit of all that. So, I mean, I wasn't kind of thinking that far ahead when I was behind those guys. I felt I was faster, but it's so hard to pass, and we're all pretty much equal. So I made a lot of attempts there and could never complete one. And then we all kind of got bunched up second through fifth, I think. And we're just running in a real tight group. And then it just kind of got out of hand. But at that point, I was just thinking, how can I get around these guys so I can get away from them? And also, if I have to, how can I get into an even spot so that on the next restart, I'm on the outside? Early on in that run, though, I was trying to save just because I kind of made a decision early on I wasn't going to pit again. So I figured if I tried to save early in the run, I'd have a little something at the end.
Yeah, we asked Josh if he thought he had better tires than a lot of the guys that were running up front and were staying out. He thought that played out quite a bit. So, but second place finish, nothing to be embarrassed. Really, really good race, especially in this main event portion after lap 100. You ran up front the entire thing. So, congratulations on the second place. We'll give you the floor to thank everybody, sponsors, teammates, wife, family, whatever you want. The floor is yours, sir. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you guys for what you do. Appreciate the league and my teammates. This is one car operation here, but affiliated with Wellchild and Spartan, and I appreciate all they do for me. So, and I want to say hi to my mom and dad, who they always watch these things. So, hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, that was Scott Hunsinger in the 52. Jeremy, want to pull down our winner?
Yes, sir.
Try to not push.
Sorry. Donnie James, sorry. Donnie James, Jeremy Rubin, Luis Salmaso in the ARAM booth. Nice win tonight. I know it was a little heated there at the end with you and Nicholson, but nice job getting the checkered flag there. You got the bottom side hooked around.
Thank you,
pretty
guys. Yeah, I had about 25 laps fresher tires than he did, and I think the bottom line was just working for me, with everybody checking up outside there. And lucky I found that line late enough in the race.
And Donnie Luis here. I saw you get for about, I think it was 20 something laps to go. You got a pretty good position during a restart where you restarted on the outside right behind the leader. The leader was picking the outside to get that jump out of turn 4. Was that the moment that you saw an opening and said, well, that's my time, I need to go? Because we saw you make one hell of a pass on the outside of the 26 to get in second. Was that the moment that you said, you know what, this is now or never? This is the moment that I gotta have to go for it and just try to give everything that I could to pass the 53?
Yeah, absolutely. That outside line on the restarts, that's definitely a key here. If you get stuck on that bottom line, it's hard to get grip down there, especially on the rolly run. Uh, yeah, I saw my chance. I closing laps. It's checkers. It's you got to go for it, and I'm lucky I did.
Well, sir, you just ran that brand new paint scheme to victory lane, won a race early this year in our truck series at Daytona. Now coming to Bristol, completely different track, pulling off another awesome victory on the closing laps. Congratulations on your first Xfinity victory this year. Uh, that puts you in our chase, right? Since
Yeah,
you are one
yeah,
of
that's
our.
Yes, sir.
something that was running across my line coming across those final laps. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to give a shout out to Cornerstone Motorsports, Josh Sheets, Caleb, um, all those people. Autism Speaks Awareness. It being April, it's very important time in the month. So
Well, sir, congratulations again. Awesome win. Hopefully, You'll see you guys in another race. Are you running in Cup tomorrow, or you're off for Bristol up to Richmond next week?
I think my next appearance will be at Richmond. I got some family matters to take care of tomorrow. So
There you go. But well, congratulations again. Awesome win. Hope to see you again in the next couple of weeks. That was Donnie James, driver of the number 93, our winner tonight. And Jeremy, I think we have our Dash for Cash winner as well.
Yes, sir. Nick Olson, 53. Tough break there, not getting the main event win, but you still walk away with 200,000 ECR funds in your pocket. You had a dominant car all night. Just looked like at the end, Donnie James was able to hook the bottom and get around you. Is that pretty much what happened, or?
Yeah, he had tires. He did it a couple
Yep.
cautions before, and I did not. I figured staying out would have been the best idea because I mean then you get to control. I mean you guys saw my restarts were on
Oh
point
yeah.
all
Oh yeah.
night. I was out half a second every time, and I mean that showed what tires are worth. Um, you know, you lead almost 100 laps. I think somebody told me I led 99, so couldn't get that
Yep.
one.
99 laps.
But um. I'm happy I got the money. That's great. That's a
But
consolation prize for sure.
you're running for
Uh,
Xfinity point. Yeah, you're obviously running for Xfinity
yeah,
points because you're in the Dash for Cash. So if you win one more Dash for Cash, that gets you locked into the chase.
that's something I didn't
So,
remember.
yep.
But
So it does mean a little bit something.
it does.
Go out next week, win it again, or sorry, not next week. Yeah, whenever the next one is,
Yeah.
go out and win that, and you're in the chase.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Just wish we could have closed that one out. I was racing my guts out there.
Totally saw.
Yeah. Donnie had a little bit of a gutsy move. I don't know if you guys saw earlier in the race. I had gotten into Donnie. I don't know if you guys saw that replay.
Probably
I
not
got
because
into
iRacing
Donnie
said fuck
and
you the whole night. Sorry about that.
oh well,
Whoopsies.
that's splendid.
Yep.
Me and Donnie wrecked around midway through the second heat, and it was called on him. But I made a bit of a gutsy move trying to get back to the front after I forget. I think I pitted and I was in the back. I was 27th or something, and I was driving through and I wrecked Donnie, and he said he raced me harder because of that, and I totally understand that. Um, it's great to be in the Dash for Cash winner, though. I'm not going to dwell on that. That's just 2 heartbreaks in the last month.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, Luis here. What was the toughest thing about this race? We know that Bristol is one of the most demanding tracks in the calendar. The surface doesn't help, the temperature doesn't help, and you guys were out there for pretty good long green flag runs. What was the toughest thing? The restart portions on old tires where you could not make a mistake and that back of that car just wiggle around, or keeping the car out of the wall on used tires and keeping that incredible pace that you were keeping open. You at a point you were almost 2 seconds ahead of everybody. What was the toughest thing to do during this race?
I will say, I really wish that went green.
Oh, we know. Yeah.
Yeah, that we called that during the moment that happened. That was what I said. The one person who did not want to see this was Nick Olson.
Yeah, things were working. The car that I really had to deal with today, and I'll get to your question in a second. Got to give a call to Josh in the 81. he was stout. Earlier in the race, we were racing, I think it was the first heat. Me and him were racing real hard, and I knew that, we were out about 2 seconds. He was the one that I knew was really going to be the guy to watch, and we both kind of got shuffled, got in our separate accidents, and we never really found each other again. But back to the racetrack, it's all about, how you finesse the brakes, how you finesse the throttle. I didn't really get loose tonight, and you really got to get on those brakes, make sure you can arc the corner, diamond it off. You probably heard Daryl talking about that on Sunday. It is effective. It really works. And, the Tax Slayer Chevy was fast today because of that. And, things things could have been a little cleaner. But the big challenge was racing around traffic. That's really dangerous here, especially with the iRacing problems as you've been experiencing, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Net code, all that garbage. That caused the last wreck with Susie and the 26 sheets. But that's all I really got. It was pretty easy to drive. I hate to sound like that, but I had fun.
Well, we know that you run a lot of official races and you practice your quote unquote behind off. And we were talking about you can go watch the broadcast. That's what we said. You're week in week out being more consistent. It's more like getting the finishes that we know that you're capable of, and it's just one of those things. Eventually, everything's going to click. But you raised one hell of a race tonight. Everybody watching can go out and take notes how to race this track from this race tonight. So, congratulations again, awesome race. Little bit of luck and it's going to break your way. Congratulations on the Dash for Cash. If you want to, we'll give you the floor. If you want to thank teammates, whoever you want, sponsors, feel free. The floor is yours.
As always, I want to thank everybody at YGR. Jack couldn't be here tonight. Matthew George had a good run going. Got in a wreck. Andrew Ackerman racked up his first top 10 tonight. As you guys probably saw, that was huge for him. Huge for us. It's good to see him finishing races and finishing them. And we know when he finishes them, he can finish them well. So he's just had some awful luck. As always, got to thank Colin, Dale, and Matt. They're all watching.
Yeah, buddy. Miss you guys.
Yeah. So that's about it. You guys do a great job. I really got to thank you guys for doing this. Luis, especially being out of the country doing
Yeah,
this.
right?
Well, we do what we can, but well, congratulations again. Awesome race. And are you racing tomorrow night in the Cup, or your next one is Richmond?
I'm gonna practice. I've qualified in the show. I'm gonna practice. See how I feel. If I like the set and the weather, we'll give it a shot. But we'll see.
Well, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. If not, pretty sure Richmond. Watch out.
Talladega.
That 53 is fast. So watch out for that number. He's coming. So
Hell
eventually
yeah.
he's going to crack that win. Congratulations again, bud. We'll see you next race.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Jeremy, that concludes our broadcast for tonight.
Yeah, that'll pretty much do it. I know we saw a lot of cautions tonight, 14 cautions for 58 total laps of the 220, but we still saw some pretty good racing. Couple notes here. 53 was fast all night, led 99 of 220 laps. That includes both the main event and the heats, of course. A lot of guys were fast. A lot of guys that were fast were out early in incidents. The 6 of Stephen Massey, the 65 our pole sitter, the 1 of John Schweigert, the 70 of Scotty Brown. Yeah,
Brian Wilderson, the 13th.
Yep, Brian Wilderson.
Other one.
Yeah, just a few too many accidents at the front early in the race. Took out a bunch of top contenders, but it is what it is. Well, we move on to next week.
Yeah, I think we saw exactly what we thought we were going to see. Tight race, Bristol at its best, crashes, touches, people hitting the wall, coming back, confusion, and we saw what normally happens at the end of those races when we have a late caution. We saw a strong move for the win, guys giving it everything that they had, not holding anything back. And we saw a great pass with a great strategy, the right strategy by Donnie James, getting tires the right time. And he was just at the right place at the right time, got the win, made the move that he needed to make, and came home with the win. Awesome second place for Scott Hunsinger, another one that eventually he's going to break through and is going to win. Josh Wallace, a great top three. And we need to give a big shout out as well, a guy that we call out during the broadcast, Mike Voss in the number 72. He ends up finishing 11, just outside of the top 10, 2 laps back. He's going to have to explain to us what the hell happened that made him pit during green flag and pretty much took him out of contention. But awesome race by everybody. And I think next week in Richmond, not sure if it's next week, right?
Yes.
We're going to see the same thing because Richmond is another race like this. Going to be nighttime, so a little bit better conditions, but
Actually, I
it's
think
the
both
same
races
time.
are daytime. The nighttime races
They're
in the fall.
Oh, so,
Yeah.
but it's the same type of racing. Short tracks, very tight. There's no room. If you get bumped to the outside, there's absolutely no way people are going to let you come back in. It's in reverse than in Bristol, that everybody's on the outside. You're stuck on the bottom. So I think we're going to see a lot of the same names running up front in Richmond. A lot of the guys that are used to short tracks, like this type of racetrack, we're going to see these guys running up front. And who knows? And we had another winner tonight, so another one for the Hall of First-Time Winners in the Xfinity Series this year. Maybe in Richmond we'll get even another one. So our chase field starting to form up. Already have a couple names. So this is getting interesting. This is getting exciting.
Yeah, it's only going to get exciting further along in the season as we go. We'll finish out next week at short tracks, then we go to Talladega. And then
God
after
help us.
that, I think it's Kansas, and then probably Dover somewhere in the middle there. And then, yeah, season will go on, and we'll get closer to the chase. We'll knock out some more guys. We'll put some more guys in. We're going to see a great season here in the Xfinity Series.
Well, we had some great races up until this point. Pretty sure they're only going to get better. So
Yep.
I want to thank you for letting me be in the booth with you.
I want to thank you for joining me from frickin' Chile. I mean, that's awesome.
Well,
I am
next time
now an
we'll-
international broadcaster. Bam.
Next time we'll do it from Ecuador, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. We'll just keep going. We'll just keep going.
Knock them all out.
Oh, yeah. Well, awesome job, bud.
Yep.
Awesome job.
Well, until next time, my name is Jeremy Rubin. Luis Amasa joining me from Chile in the booth tonight. We will see you next week from Richmond International Raceway. Same time, same place, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on ARAN's YouTube channel. Make sure you give us a follow on the like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, hit the subscribe button. We will see you next week. Congratulations again to Donnie James, your winner at Bristol Motor Speedway. Have a great night.
Peace out, boys.